In a recent job interview I had, I went through a set of technical interview questions that were LeetCode focused. And the first question I did was quick and efficient and managed to solve the problem well enough that they were satisfied. The second question, however, was not so good. I unfortunately took a long time with the question, and after completing the interview, I realized that it really should have been a lot simpler than I made it. So I took a step back from the problem for a little while, jumped right back in, and solved it in roughly 8 minutes. Now, I'm sure most of you who are in the dev space probably could have solved it faster, but I really appreciated the opportunity to solve a problem that I hadn't done before, and I would like the opportunity now to show you how I did it. In the first part, I'm going to go over the base solution of how to do it on the whiteboard. And then in the second part, I'm going to show you exactly how I wrote it in the code. So we're going to see line by line exactly how I did it and added confidence by adding test cases to make sure that it is rock solid. So let's dive right in.
All right, let's talk about the problem. For a given set of 4 or more integers, for example, 0, 1, -1, and 2, return true if 4 of its integers has a net sum of 0. For example, 0, 1, -1, and 0 has a net sum of 0, therefore return true. 0, 1, 2, 3 has a net sum of 6, therefore return false. So because we have 4 numbers, we're going to have 4 loops, 1 loop for each number. And the problem said there needs to be a minimum of 4, but there could be more. So in this case, we're going to do 6 integers that we're going to check for a set of 4 within. So we'll do 4 sets here to represent 4 loops. And now we're going to be finding 4 of these numbers within this array that are going to have a net of 0. So in this case, 0 index, 1 index, 2 index, and 5 index produce a net of 0. So 0 plus 1 plus 1 plus -2 is 0, therefore return true. One thing we're going to need to avoid in this process is having false positives. So let's give an example here. If we were to take the 0, 1, 1, 0, 0 array, it would be possible to get a net 0 from just taking the first index of the array each time. So if we took the first index 0, 0, 0, 0, then obviously that would produce a net 0. But the problem is that we just grab the same index each time. We don't want to do that. So in order to avoid this problem, we need to make sure that each counted number that we're using is a different index from the other indexes that were used. All right, we're going to go through the problem that we talked about on the board, and we're going to solve it. So we're going to go through 4 nested loops and create a solution from there. So for loop, we're going to have this be I. This will be array. This will be our num1. We're going to go through the loop again. I, array, num2. Again. Oh, actually, made a boo-boo here. For, this is going to be j. That will be our iterator here. Array, num2, 4. All right, we've got our iterator of k will be next. Then number 3. JKL is the next letter in the alphabet, but that looks a little too much like I. LM. Array num4. Okay, so here is what we're going to do. If we're going to have our conditions. So check if the sum of the numbers is 0, and check that each item, check that each iterator is not the same number, because we cannot use the same index twice at the same time. Okay, so const is sum 0 is, add these up together, num1, num1 plus num2 plus num3 plus num4 is 0, and is not same index. Is not same index, yeah. Okay, so I cannot be equal to j, and I cannot be equal to k, and I cannot be equal to m, and j cannot be equal to k, and j cannot be equal to m, and m cannot be equal to k. And that should take care of all our cases. So now, if those two conditions are true, if is sum 0 and is not same index, then return true. Otherwise, return false. All right, let's make sure that our tests pass, which all the tests pass. We are good to go. And the test for context is a series of multi-dimensional arrays where the first item in each test case is a test case, I guess. The first item is the test case, and the second item is the expected result. And we are just making sure that for each of these that it passes if the result from determine net 0 function is what comes back as expected. So in this case, all tests have passed because the expectation is the same as the result. And that is our function to see if, we'll just do it this way. Function to determine if 4 of the values in the array are the same. Or for the values in the array have a sum of 0. And we can even add a few more cases so that we've got more confidence in our test here. Let's add this one, which would be -1 to be true. And let's add another 2 of them, 3 and -3 to be true. All right, let's run that test and make sure it works. Good to go.
Leave a comment down below for a better approach than I took, or maybe you agree with the approach I took. And wish me luck for the next interview. Thanks.